quick correction officer video for my corrections family, man. I want to have a little fun with this video, and I want to talk about some of the prison shows and movies that I have seen over the years that I feel paints, the most accurate description of how prison life can be working in corrections. Now, you got to keep in mind now, a lot of stuff that you see on TV is glamorized. It's Hollywood. Some of it may not necessarily be true. But a lot of these shows that I've watched over the years, man, I feel like they give you kind of an accurate portrayal of how things really goes when you work behind that wall in corrections, man. So let's get right into it, man. One of my favorite shows that I watch, man, I'm waiting on the new season as we speak, is Mayor of Kingstown, man. That's a great show. It comes on, I want to say, is it Hulu or Paramount? I can't remember which app it is, but it's 3 seasons so far. I'm waiting on the new season, man. Great prison show, man. It deals with a little bit on the outside and the inside of the prison, man. There's a guy, he used to be locked up in a prison. He gets out and he kind of acts as a liaison for the gang members and gang leaders inside the prison and their gangs on the outside street, man. It's a crazy show. It's got a lot of graphic stuff in there, man. I will forewarn you, man, but I love that show, every minute of it, man. I was on the edge of my couch when I was watching that show. So definitely check out Mayor of Kingstown, man. This show I just finished up watching, it's a mini series on Netflix, man. It's called Escape at Dannemora. That was a great little 7-episode series, man. It take place up in New York in a state prison, right? And there was a lady, she's working in a fabric shop, man. She's having sexual relationships with 2 inmates. It started off with 1, but I guess the whole thing got exposed and the inmate got moved off that assignment, and the inmate, he was in cahoots with another inmate. They were going to escape from the prison, and they manipulated this lady to bringing in tools and stuff so they could escape out their cell. They had cut a whole square thing big enough for them to get out their cell. It was a walkway right behind their cell. They went down there, they cut through some pipe chase. They made it out to the street through a sewer pipe, man. They was on the run, man. It was a crazy show, man. That just shows you, how easy it is to get compromised, get manipulated by the inmates working as a correctional officer. So check that one out as well, man. What else we got? Lockup. I like Lockup too, man. That's more like a documentary. They actually let camera crews go inside the prisons and jail. I think that came on National Geographic over the years. I feel like that kind of gives an accurate portrayal of what corrections is like. The only thing I wouldn't say it's not really as accurate as like when the cameras is on the inmates, they beating on the walls and the cell doors, throwing up all they gang signs. So they doing that because they know they on camera, man. Most of the time, the inmates just be chilling, man, doing them. They know they got an audience. They know they going to be on TV, stuff like that. But when you see stuff like the officers run into an emergency, a fight break out, you see them, they got the inmate in cuffs, they escorting him, and then whoever he was fighting, they escorting him maybe 20, 30 feet behind him, more officers, stuff like that is an accurate portrayal of how things go down in corrections. We just had a medical emergency the last night I worked, man. Inmate, I think he had a seizure. He fell out, man. It was probably like, about 4 a.m. in the morning, man. Everybody run up there, man. It's nighttime, night shift, so everybody sleep. All the inmates wake up because they hear all these keys jingling and running because, in corrections, we carry a set of keys, big Folger keys on our hip, on our duty belt, man. So you hear all them keys. When you hear them keys, man, something going on, man. Get on the intercom. The intercom will blare over the whole prison. All inmates get down. If it's like an active fight going on, all inmates get down. It'll start shouting it in Spanish for the Spanish inmates, man. But yeah, Lockup is a good one. Prison Break was a good series too, man. I watched that maybe a few years ago. I think that came on Netflix. That was a good one. What else we got? Movies. Let's get to the movies, man. One of my all-time favorite prison movies, Shawshank Redemption, man. And that ain't even got nothing. I mean, it got something to do with corrections, but just outside of corrections. I just love that whole plot, that whole storyline. Got Morgan Freeman. I can't remember the main character's name, but I like how Shawshank Redemption played out. One of the craziest scenes I seen was when the old timer, he got out of prison, but he had been doing so much time in prison that when he got back out into society, he couldn't function, man, and he ended up committing suicide at his halfway house or wherever he was staying at, man. That was a powerful scene right there to me, man. But yeah, y'all, if y'all have never seen Shawshank Redemption, it's on the top 100 list of greatest movies all time. I think it came out like in the 90s. Great movie to check out, man. Shot Caller. Shot Caller was good too, man. That comes on, I think, Netflix. It's a whole bunch of different apps it's on. But that one was crazy to me, man, just because, you know, you got this guy, right? He's like he's a successful man on the street. You know, he's got a good job. And one mistake cost him his whole freedom, right? He's drinking. He went out to dinner with his wife and friends, right? He's drinking, getting in an accident. The people they hit, they ended up dying, right? He goes to prison. And then it's like he gets inside the prison system and he goes from this CEO, Fortune 500 business type dude with a decent job, good life, to he gets involved in the gangs and he gets deeper and deeper into it as the movie goes along. And it ends with him being the shot caller for one of the most notorious gangs. I think it took place in California Department of Corrections, man. He's doing a life sentence without parole. He done stabbed, killed people, man. I'm like, wow. That goes to show you, man, how life can change. You can do a 180 just like that. How do you go from this? You got a good life, you on top of the world, to now you doing life without in prison. You a shot caller over a gang. I'm like, wow, crazy, but great movie though, nonetheless. This is the next one, Con Air. Con Air, man. If you've never seen Con Air, you gotta check out Con Air. It's got a lot of characters, man. I played in a lot of movies over the years. It's got Ving Rhames. I can't remember the one character's name. He's got long hair in the movies. He played in a lot of movies over the years, though. But Con Air is one of those movies, man. It highlights the dangers of transporting inmates. Whenever you take an inmate outside the prison, you know, to go to the hospital, or if you work at a county jail or somewhere like that where you got to take the inmates back and forth to court, that's one of the most dangerous situations to be in as a correctional officer, man, because you never know what the inmates could potentially be plotting or planning, man, once they get outside the confines of the institution. They may already know they're not supposed to, but they may have got some kind of intel somehow, some way. It could have been a corrupt staff member. They might have connects on the outside street, and they may know that they're going to court that day. They got an appointment. They getting transferred to another prison. And you could be transporting them, you maybe and your partner, and all of a sudden y'all get ambushed by some people on the outside that's in cahoots with this inmate, man. So that just highlights the importance of always being alert, being extra vigilant anytime you take an inmate outside the confines of the institution. If you've seen Con Air, you know they transporting a lot of Supermax inmates on this plane. The inmates end up hijacking the plane, man. And it's a crazy movie, man. The U.S. Marshals getting involved. They trying to find these inmates and get them all back in. Crazy movie. Nonetheless, check it out, Con Air. This is another movie right here, man. Civil Brand. This one came out, I think, in the early 2000s, and it came on BET. It's probably on one of these apps, man, but it's called Civil Brand, right? And it had, Clifton Powell. Clifton Powell, he plays a sergeant. He's a corrupt, dirty, compromised sergeant, right? It's a female prison, and he's in there having sexual relationships with the inmates. He beats them. It's like he has like a mind control thing over the inmates. And long story short, towards the end of the movie, the female inmates take over the prison. They riot, man. A lot of people end up getting killed, man. Some of the main characters, they end up making it out alive, man. I think they end up killing the sergeant that was dirty and some of his staff members that was in on it with him too, man. That's a great movie. What else we got, man? Lockdown. Lockdown was another good movie, man. It had the guy, I can't remember his name, but he played in that Tyler Perry movie. I think Why Did I Get Married? He was a cornball in that movie, but yeah, he played in this movie, man. It had a lot of graphic scenes as well in them all throughout the movie, man. You see an instance where white supremacist, he celled with a black inmate that just started doing time. He starts raping him in his cell, stuff like that, man. The inmate ends up losing it, man. He has a mental breakdown. They're having a religious service event outside on the rec yard, right? Everybody sitting down, they playing gospel music. The dude that is getting raped, he ends up losing and having a mental breakdown. He sneaks up on the dude that's in the white supremacy gang, bam, hit him in the neck, stab him. The CEOs, some of them were dirty, right? They was working for the white supremacy gang. So they run up, they break up the fight, and one of the CEOs, bow, take his baton, hit the dude that stabbed him that was getting raped. He hit him in the head and ended up killing him, man. It was a crazy movie. Lockdown. You definitely got to check that out, man. They got some graphic stuff in there, man. So now I want to get on to some shows that I plan on watching. I haven't seen everything. And if y'all seen some stuff that I haven't mentioned, put me on to game. I want to put it on my list because I'm always looking for new prison shows, new movies to watch, man. So some stuff I want to watch. Oz. If you never watched Oz, I always hear that's a great show. That came out, I want to say like in the late 90s, around when The Wire came out, The Sopranos, that came on HBO. But I always hear Oz is one of them classic shows, man. It's a prison setting, so I saw on my list Orange is the New Black. I watched a couple episodes of Orange is the New Black on Netflix, but I never really finished or got into it. I plan on going back and watching it. Wentworth on Netflix. Blood In, Blood Out. I heard that was a good prison movie. Let me see. And that's it, man. That's a lot of these shows, man. If you check them out, man, great content. Even if you don't work in corrections, man, great shows. If I had to pick one for y'all to start with, man, as far as shows, I would say go with Mayor of Kingstown. Hands down, man. Great. Oh, I love that show, man. Man, I'm telling you, you going to want to that thing. Call in sick to work, man. To finish, keep binge watching it, pop you some popcorn. Let me see. What's some other shows that I'm Escaping Dannemora? That was a good one. Check that one out as well. Shawshank Redemption. Put that on your list at top to watch for movies, man. But yeah, y'all got any input, thoughts, comments on this video? Any shows y'all want me to check out or any other shows that y'all feel people that's working in corrections could benefit from? Make sure y'all drop that comment, man. Let's share the wealth. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.